The jury made a statement with this sentence, and the statement was that this behavior won't be tolerated. In April of 2021, an arrest warrant was issued for Joseph Rodriguez Berdicia after an investigation was done into some acts that the police heard that Joseph had done to his girlfriend's 13-year-old daughter. Joseph Rodriguez Berdicia was charged with 3 counts of rape that stemmed from events in 2016. He was charged with 1 count of first-degree SA, 1 count of second-degree SA. Both of those were from acts in 2016 where Joseph grabbed the 13-year-old's breast and buttocks and also digitally penetrated her. 13-year-old, it is just so disgusting. And then he was also charged with third-degree domestic battery, second offense, after he took a knife and cut his girlfriend's daughter. Joseph must have felt like he could beat the system because in August of 2023, he had a jury trial and it did not go in his favor. Joseph Rodriguez Berdicia was found guilty on all 6 counts. So on each of the 3 counts of rape, he was sentenced to 40 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. He was sentenced to 20 years for the first-degree SA and 15 for the second-degree SA. He was then sentenced to 5 years in prison for the battery charge. So I have seen news articles that Joseph Rodriguez Berdicia was sentenced to 160 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections, but I believe that that is an error. I think that he was sentenced to 80 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections because the jurors requested that the first 2 counts of rape run consecutively, which would be 80 years. The prosecutor's short report says 80 years, and also the Arkansas Department of Corrections website says 80 years. So I'm going to go with that, 80 years, but that's still a lot of time in prison, especially for someone that's Joseph Rodriguez Berdicia's age. As of right now, Joseph is 44 years old, and if he falls under the new sentencing, he would have to serve 100% of his sentence. I mean, that would put him over 100 years anyway, but as of right now, his parole eligibility date is 2079, which would put him at 100 years old. He's not going to live that long, so the reality is that he will most likely spend the rest of his life in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. Now, he has filed an appeal. I would naturally expect that he would, so he will have to go through that appeal process. He hasn't got to prison yet. He's still waiting in the Washington County Detention Center, so we'll see, what happens with that, but that's just a normal thing for him to file an appeal because he got so many years. I would expect that. Hopefully, somewhere along the way, he learned to keep his hands off of 13-year-olds, and anybody hearing this needs to know to keep their hands off of children. It's not right. Nobody should be treated in that manner, but especially not a child.